Okay, so now this is some fun stuff. This is Julia Tindall is our next speaker, and she's the founder of Soul Diving Academy, a master teacher in yoga, tantra, and spirituality. She's the author of 5 books on spiritual growth and has produced award-winning podcasts and DVDs. Julia leads workshops and trainings around the globe, including retreats to Mexico, Bali, Thailand, and Belize. She's been offering community events in Sacramento for the past 22 years. Today, she's going to be speaking about diving into presence. Julia.
Hi, everybody. Can I just honor RJ and JG because this is an amazing event. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you, guys. And thank you for that lovely introduction. I really do have the best job in the world. I get to take people to play around this beautiful planet of ours. I'd love it if y'all come with me. It's fantastic. We have a good time. And if you're wondering about my strange accent, I should say I'm English, and I've lived here 28 years in Sacramento, and I really love Sacramento. It's a great place to live, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I have the best climate. So today, diving into presence. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get a little bit interactive, so be warned. So I have a question for you to start. Hands up, how many of you have read Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now? Oh my gosh, most of you in this room. Wow. And how many of you have either read or heard of the iconic 1960s Ram Dass book, Be Here Now? Okay, pretty good number. Okay, so here's the next question. How many of you find that you can, in fact, be here now in every waking moment? Oh, 1 or 2, all right. Well, awesome.
In an undulating fashion.
Thank you. Undulating fashion. Yeah.
On and off.
That's right. On and off. That tends to be the way. Well, if you're like me, you might find sometimes that your mind tends to grab your attention. I know mine does. It tends to project me into the future, and it tends to keep me thinking about the past, and it gives me criticisms and judgments and agendas and plans, and sometimes they can be useful, but a lot of the time my mind is just yapping to me. And here's the thing, when it does that, I'm not really present. Do you guys find the same thing? Yeah. So wouldn't it be great if we had some simple tools that in our daily lives could just simply drop us back down to that state of presence that we all know we love to be in? Yeah? Well, I thought that too. But I had a problem finding them in some of these books. I mean, the theory's all very well, but the books don't necessarily, to my practical mind, tell me how to get there. So last year, I set about inquiring for myself how to do it, because I noticed that I was losing something really precious, and that was my life. Because when my mind is spinning and I'm paying attention to it and not in the moment, I'm actually losing the precious moments of my life. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I set about finding some tools that could help me be more present. And I found some, that's the good news. And I wrote them down. Now they're a book, The Practice of Presence. It came out last week. And I thought it would be really fun today to share with you some of these tools, both to help you drop into presence as an individual, in other words, just into your own space, but also to help you get present with somebody else. Because to me, presence is love. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, here's the thing. It's very hard to be present if you're not really in your body or comfortable in your body. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to wake up a little bit. We're going to do something super simple that in fact animals do to get them present in their body after a scare or a fright or a shock. You know what animals do? They shake. So let's everybody stand up. And we are going to shake. We're going to let out our mammalian nature. And we can start with just alive in your body, right?
Yeah.
2 minutes shaking. Look at the effect. Especially, guys, if you've had a stressful day at work, or you're frustrated, or you're angry, shake it all out. It's incredible how fast you can shift your energy and your whole sense of being with just shaking. So you've got the first tool. Feel presence in your body right now, just from that. Just take a breath into that. Feel the deliciousness of being alive in your body. Take this moment. And then you can sit down. Yeah. Yum. All right. So that's just to get you in your body. Now we're going to do something else with it. So this is a simple one. But let's always remember that sometimes the simplest tools are the most effective, and they're free and they're easy and you can do them anywhere. And we're talking about conscious breathing. So I'm going to invite you all to, rather than slouching back in your chairs, as some of you are doing, come to sit on the edge of your chair so that your spine can be straight. This is going to help this next process. Have your feet hip distance apart, feet firmly on the ground. And we're going to start just placing your right hand on your belly, or if you're left-handed, your left hand. And this is just to get our consciousness sinking down from the headspace into the belly. So just simply feel your belly, inhale and inflate like a balloon, feel it press against your hand, and then as you exhale, feel the right hand come back towards your spine. So inhale, inflate, fill, and exhale and empty the belly. And as you do this, as you continue a few more breaths, and I'll continue talking, you might notice a calming effect of this breath. And this is what in yoga we call the simple belly breath. And it's actually the way that babies breathe. This is our natural way of breathing. But as we grow older and we watch the adults around us who breathe from here, we get into the lung breath and we tend to forget about the belly breath. So it's just a nice way to drop you into your belly. And we're actually going to add a little piece onto this. So now place your left hand on your upper chest. And we're going to inhale through the nostrils, fill your belly, and then let the breath rise up through the body, expanding through your ribs, and then filling all the way to the top of your lungs. And exhaling, feeling that release first as much as possible in the lungs, shoulders, the ribs sink in, and then the belly relaxes. So let's do a few of these. Inhale, fill the belly with breath. Let the breath rise up, expanding ribcage, filling the lungs. Exhaling, softening shoulders, releasing the breath. Eventually, belly releases. Let's do about 3 more nice, conscious, deep breaths. Inhale, fill belly, expand through your middle section, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhaling, fill. Take it slow, don't rush this. So often when we breathe quickly and shallowly, it creates tension in the body. This should help you relax with each exhale. 1 more. And then relax your hands down and just sit. Sit in the quiet. Notice how calm you feel. The deep breathing is both energizing because it brings prana or life force energy into the body, but also relaxing. So we'll take a few moments of deep presence right here, where you're just receiving what you did. relaxing into the effects of the deep breaths. So during your busy life, especially again if you feel tense and you need some extra energy, but you also need calm, this technique of taking these deep breaths will get you to that place where you can be dropped in to a state of deep presence very quickly. I'm personally interested in what works efficiently. And let's face it, we don't always have time to run off to the ashram for the weekend. We want to bring ashram practice to our daily life in a simple, easeful way. So this is something you can do. So now just opening your eyes and coming back together into the room. Any comment from that? Anyone want to share how that felt?
I went so deep into the silence. Then I opened my eyes and I was like, oh yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you can dive deep very quickly. Yeah. Anybody else want to share from that experience? Yeah.
All my other thoughts just went away and I just focused
hang
on
on.
my breathing.
Microphone.
Here we go.
Just say that again if you could, Diana.
All my other thoughts just went away and I just focused on my breathing and that was my only essence.
Yeah. So this is the trick, if you like. Mind is constantly wanting to grab our attention. But if we give it something to focus on that it can just sink into, attention goes there and the mind thoughts can just disappear, and really with it the whole mind construct, and the awareness can just settle in to breath or to whatever device we give it. And I have another one coming up. Any other question or comment from that? Did it work? Yeah, okay.
I'm amazingly physically comfortable sitting with my spine straight on the edge of the chair. And physical discomfort is the way I usually am. So this is very nice.
Wonderful to hear. So the reason we sit on the edge of the chair is it helps us to bring our spine a little straighter. And in technical terms, what we are doing there is we're opening the Sushumna Nadi, and that is the energy channel that runs just in front of the spine in our energy field. So as we're taking those breaths, we're actually invigorating that channel of energy. And that's going to make us feel really centered, but also energized and fresh. Thank you. Okay, we ready for, one more. Mm-hmm.
The thought that crossed my mind was that I could do this in the workplace,
Yeah.
a couple of
anywhere.
minutes, wherever I'm stressed. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful tool.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I have,
Thank you.
I have a question. So when I started doing this shake
Yeah.
thing and really getting into it, I really noticed that rather quickly there were some emotions that came up, and I don't know if it's associated with like shooing someone away or kicking someone, or, but it even reminded me of being like in second and third grade playing kickball, and but there was a lot of fights that the boys got into. So my question is, when some sort of a raw emotion shows up, how do you best deal with anger emotions or harsh emotions that show up during exercises like this?
You let it out. I would personally, isn't it rather out than in? And then, so what a lot of my teachers have always said is if something comes up, give the feeling a color with a sound. So maybe, wow. Yeah, let it out. Because you don't want to hold that in your body or in your energy field. So if it's shaking out, make some noise and let it go. So try that at home.
I'll do that at home.
Perfect. Good. All right. So let's do a couple more techniques to help us drop into presence really quickly in our daily lives for ourselves. And this one is super simple. And all it is rubbing your hands together. Let's do it all together. We're going to make fire with our hands. Rub, 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 rub. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. Was that a poem? Rub, 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 rub. I remember from childhood. So really rub hard. Now as you rub, you can close your eyes and put all your attention into this rubbing action. And you might find that you cannot think and rub. You're just rubbing. All right, and stop. And relax into presence. Notice what's going on in your hands. Notice the tingling, the heat. But actually what's also happened is that rubbing helps to balance left and right sides of our brain. So it's bringing us into centeredness just by that action. And also the action of moving hands in a rhythmical way helps to calm the mind. This is a great one to do in front of the computer. When you need a little break, rub your hands. Any comments? You feel that one? All right, good. One more for individual practice, and then we'll move on to pairs. So this one is super simple again, and it's really a listening meditation. So I invite you can relax back in your chairs now and slouch if you prefer, it doesn't matter. We're just going to get quiet, and I'm going to talk you through a way to use your ears, the sense of your ears, to come into presence. So close your eyes. Actually, everyone take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. Ah, that's it. And just let go. Settle in. So this is the power of listening. And all you're going to do for the next couple of minutes is simply pay attention to the sounds around you. And right now, of course, you're hearing the sound of my voice. But eventually, when I shut up, you will hear the sounds in the room. So both the near sounds, and then also take a moment and tune into faraway sounds, like maybe a car passing in the street or a bird outside. So we use the power of listening to drop into the moment just as it is. And we'll give you a couple of minutes right now to practice this listening meditation. And then gently easing yourself back into the room with your full presence. Noticing the calm that's inside. And again, the device is a trick, because when the awareness is focusing on the sounds, it doesn't have room for focusing on thought. So the thought simply recedes into the background. Another nice simple one you can practice. Any comments from this one? Yeah, Penny.
Let's see, I'm going to hand you this. Is it on now? Is this on?
Yes.
Well, the gift of listening to the sounds is none of the sounds disturb you and take you out of the silence. They contribute to the silence.
Exactly. We're sitting without resistance to the sound. Oh, I don't like this one. Oh, I prefer that one. Because that's mind chatter. We're simply with them. That's presence, folks. And Diana, did you have something? Yeah.
I felt very connected to the breathing of everyone else in the room. And also, the walls just kind of disappeared, and I also felt connected with the world. It was just a very, because we're all one, so that's
Right.
being connected.
Absolutely. So when we get to these states of presence, it's an act of self-love where we simply tune in to the beingness that we are, which is we are beings of love, and with that we experience an expansion. And in the expansion, our energy field goes out, 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 and merges with everything. And that becomes a spiritual experience. So you just had one. Nice, thank you. Okay, so I'd like us to take a little time and move into exercises that drop us into presence with a friend. Or in this case, I prefer somebody you don't know. So everyone stand up and see if you can find someone you don't know very well. I know.
I think it's
I don't feel like I'm here.
Get you back. I know some of you got a little spacey, so again, just wiggle your feet. You could just shake a little if you want, or just breathe and enjoy the feeling. Was that fun?
Yes.
Yeah. We need to touch each other. A lot of us don't get enough touch. It's really important. Yeah. So, just to conclude, the question really becomes, how do we remind ourselves or catch ourselves when we fall out of presence in our daily life? And in Jnana Yoga, which is one of the yogas I teach, it's the yoga of self-inquiry, we have a special tool for watching the mind. Because, believe me, you are not your mind. And the tool is called your witness. You could also say your awareness, but we like to use the word witness. The neutral witness is the part of ourselves that watches our thoughts, our behaviors, how we show up in the world without judgment. It just simply watches. It's that part of our being. And really, the practice of yoga, and really all yogas, are to drop us into that neutral witness state all the time. And of course, for most of us, we're in our head a lot, so we're going to, like someone said, we're going to go in and out in our day, and that's just fine. But the witness, the part of our awareness that watches the thought, is what's going to catch us and go, oh, I've just been in my head for far too long. Let me just do something that's going to drop me into presence. Or something, right? We've got the tools now just to take these little presence breaks throughout our day. And even if we only do these things occasionally in our day, like 2 or 3 times, at least we've had a few moments of presence during the day. And like drops in the bucket, these moments of presence add up, and they're cumulative until we find ourselves more and more able to be in deep presence for more and more of our lives. And that, my friends, is a blessed and wonderful thing. Thank you very much. Oh, questions? Questions? Yeah?
Are there any questions?
Well, before there's a question, I simply want to share with everyone that Julia takes people around the world to Mexico and to Bali on sacred visits, yoga excursions. She had been taking people to years to Harbin Hot Springs, and she's got some wonderful, poignant memories about Harbin Hot Springs. She has a wonderful memoir called Left at the Big White Pig, and this is her story from youth all the way through her 20s, 30s, and 40s. It's a wonderful memoir. 50s?
50s.
Okay. So when we have our next break, there's some wonderful books in the back if anyone would ever want to go to Bali or Mexico or find out about some of the services you offer.
Thank you so
I think
much. We have time for a couple
be
of
richly rewarded.
questions.
Questions?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Everyone's like, yeah, other places. Yeah.
Where else are you going?
Well, this year we're just about to go to Mexico in 2 weeks' time. And I do actually a Tantra week in Hawaii in June. And by the way, what you just did is Tantra practice. Because Tantra, Yoga Tantra is about being present and connecting with other people in this kind of way. So that was actually a Tantra practice. I threw it in because I thought you'd like it. So you're all Tantra practitioners now. Don't tell anybody. And then in the fall I do I think it's my 20th annual trip to Bali. We're doing a new trip to the Himalayas, to Nepal and Bhutan this year. And then we're going to Thailand. I think it's our 6th time doing the Thailand trip. So you're all welcome to come. We have a fabulous time. Yes. So, any other quick questions or comments?
What do you do on your trip?
Oh my gosh, what do we do? Depends on the trip. Which one in particular?
And that followed Bhutan.
Well, that one is quite is more of a hiking trip and visiting the temples. So I did take a group to Bhutan only a couple of years ago, and we have the best Bhutanese guide that there is. He trains the other guides, and he comes with our group, and he takes us to the Tara temples and tells us all the history and the spirituality of the temples, and we can pray with the lamas. It's quite wonderful. We also have a chance to walk up to Tiger's Nest. It's that monastery that hangs on the cliff. It's very iconic if you've seen a picture. It's kind of a big hike, but you can take a donkey if you need. So the trips are different. That one, I don't really do yoga on that one. That's more of a spiritual sight tour. Other ones, I offer a yoga practice in the morning, but it's optional. You don't have to do that. And then we go play and visit and tour and generally have a great time. So I'm an active person. I love nature and I love the water. So often with me, it'll be water-based because I love snorkeling and playing with fish and dolphins and turtles. So if that floats your boat, you might like to come hang with me.
Thank you, Julia.